Hey y'all. Oh, I can't do that. I just don't do it as good as Paula Deen. But I do say y'all because I lived in the South for a brief period of time. Does it count that I'm thinking about being in the South right now? Anyway, I wanted to talk today briefly because some of the other vlogs that we've been doing kind of brought, we want to talk about not only who's not doing a good job or what are horrible examples, but who is doing a good job. And I have to tell you, I really have to give snaps to Comcast. If you look back in some of my tweets on Twitter and on Facebook, you'll see that I've certainly had some issues with them. Their service has been great. I have their phone, their internet, and their TV. And the actual service itself was fabulous. What my issues were in this house, they had to come out and reinstall the wiring, and it was just kind of some more installation rather than the product not working. But they've had to come out here a lot. And then when I've had billing issues where they have given me a credit, when I call, I find myself on the phone at their call center with some woman who's like,
yeah, let me just tell you, what you need to do is look at your bill and your bill. Well, let me explain your bill, okay? Hold on.
and here's me on the other end like, not going to show you that gesture. So I really wasn't pleased. And again, I do what's inevitable. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I like to talk and I like attention. Well, that's a given. But seriously, how many people know? I mean, it's a standard, well-known fact that when somebody has a good experience, they tell an average of 3 people. When they have a bad experience, they tell an average of 7 to 11. Pretty sure those numbers are somewhat accurate. But I have to give Comcast credit because I do believe they have a great product. Is it more expensive than others? Absolutely. Is it worth it? Yes. I've heard that somebody else's DSL and high speed kind of is rather sucktastic, so don't want to go there. But here's what I love about Comcast. And if you've read anything about social media, you know that they're highly interactive on Twitter. They have Comcast Cares, I think Comcast Bill, several representatives. Let me tell you, the second that you talk about a problem on Twitter, bam, there's somebody from Comcast, and they're there, and they don't ever deny the problem. I love that. They don't try to be like, oh, let's not talk about it. They will talk to you. They will interact online, and everybody can see that. Okay, so that's huge. They acknowledge the problem. They don't, I don't want to say they act like they care. They do care, okay? That takes a lot of time to be online and constantly monitor your brand. It is an investment of time. But let me tell you, I know that 2 times, there have been 2 separate times that I have been very upset with Comcast. Again, it's kind of the same issue. It's been a billing issue with me getting credits and my bill being incorrect, and then just the hassle of having these people have to come back out again, and you know what it's like, 10 to 1 on a Saturday. Who wants to do that? It's a pain in the butt. And when I call the call center, they don't treat me like they care. They don't treat me like, wow, I'm really sorry for your inconvenience. It's more like, you're a pain in my butt and I'm about to go on my break. Okay? Then I have the polar opposite experience online. But let me tell you, it's online that really impresses me, okay? Because online, for me, almost compensates for that crappy experience that I had on the phone. Because I believe if Comcast really pays attention, and this is what I said that day, I said the guys from Comcast on Twitter should be running the customer service center, period. They should be training all those people on how to get it, on how to treat your customers with respect, treat your customers like they are valuable, like they are cherished, and like you don't want to lose them. Because right now that's not happening there. So it's going to be interesting to see how Comcast, takes what they're doing and hopefully expands on it. I can only imagine they will, because for me and my experience, I think that's tremendous. That's what you should be doing. That's what, I talked about this in one of the other videos that you'll see either later or depending on when we share. Later or earlier, but I was talking about, Marriott. Marriott's on Twitter, and I got to tell you, I travel almost every other week for business, and I stay at a lot of Marriotts. And when we were in New York for a big show, we stayed at the Marriott in Times Square, and almost everybody that was staying there had a problem. Beautiful hotel. Beautiful room. One of the first rooms I stayed in without stains all over the place, which I have a personal thing about. But let me tell you, we were all on Twitter, we were all complaining, we were all talking about the issues. Not once did anyone from Marriott jump in. Not once did anyone from Marriott follow up. That stuff was out there. And when you put a bad experience out there and where people jump in, and then there's nobody that's even jumping in from the company to engage and say, hey, you guys, I am so sorry. Let me know what I can do. That's where you need to be. And every time that you miss out on that, let me tell you, you're just inviting people to go somewhere else. Because brand loyalty, if you don't act like you give a damn about your customers, your brand loyalty, kiss it goodbye. That's all I have to say. So Comcast, I have to give you snaps for doing what you do because you do it well. You're consistent. You're completely transparent. You're not trying to hide things. You're not trying to sweep things under the rug. You're engaging. And like I said, I really think the key is consistency and acting like you give a damn. And they don't act. So I hate to say it that way. You can tell that these people care. And I got to say, Comcast Bill and the last gentleman that followed up with me, I think it was just Comcast Cares. These guys were awesome. They followed up with me via DM, via email, and then via phone to make sure that I was taken care of and that I was satisfactorily taken care of. So really, I give you guys 2 snaps, keep it going, and it's just going to be interesting because I'd love to see how companies are going to take that success that you have online in Facebook and Twitter and so on. How do you transfer that to your bricks and mortar operations, your customer service operations? Because when you have that disconnect, it's taking, I don't want to say it's taking credibility away from your online efforts, but it does detract. So you want to do whatever you can to say, let's take these brilliant people that are online that get it and have them training our customer service center. Do it. I'm telling you, you can only get better.